The legal and political stakes in Washington have just escalated again. Testimony delivered under oath is now reshaping how one of the most consequential criminal cases in modern U.S. history is being understood. A senior federal prosecutor has publicly explained why charges were brought against a former president. This explanation goes beyond politics and focuses squarely on conduct, decisions, and responsibility. The testimony comes as the country remains deeply divided over accountability at the highest level of power. Supporters call it long overdue transparency. Critics call it unprecedented overreach. And tonight, the implications of this testimony are reverberating far beyond the courtroom. The testimony was delivered during a high-profile hearing that drew immediate national attention. At the center of it was the lead federal official overseeing the investigation into efforts to overturn a presidential election. Under questioning, the official stated clearly that the decision to bring charges was based on actions taken while in office, not on political identity. According to the testimony, the investigation examined behavior, intent, and documented steps taken after the election results were finalized. Officials emphasized that the law applies regardless of title, influence, or public standing. As the situation continues to develop, the testimony detailed how investigators evaluated evidence gathered over months. That included communications, public statements, internal records, and witness accounts. The official testified that the focus remained narrow and deliberate. The question, according to the testimony, was whether specific actions crossed criminal thresholds under federal law. The official stressed that prosecutors did not rely on speculation or political pressure. They relied on facts, statutes, and precedent. With the testimony now on the record, attention quickly shifted to immediate reactions. Defense attorneys for the former president rejected the explanation outright. They argue the charges are selective and politically motivated. They maintain their client acted within constitutional authority. Supporters echoed those claims across social medias and conservative media outlets. Meanwhile, officials involved in the investigation pushed back, saying independence was maintained at every stage. Beyond the immediate response, law enforcement officials outlined how security preparations have intensified nationwide. Authorities are closely monitoring rhetoric online. They are assessing potential threats linked to misinformation or calls for unrest. Federal and local agencies are coordinating to ensure public safety. Officials say there is no specific threat at this time, but the environment remains volatile. As scrutiny grows, legal experts are weighing in on the significance of the testimony. Some analysts say the statement marks a rare moment of prosecutorial transparency. Others warn it could further inflame political divisions ahead of the next election cycle. Several constitutional scholars note that explaining charging decisions publicly carries both risks and benefits. It may clarify intent, but it may also harden opposing narratives. With the area now secured around the courthouse, the focus turns back to the legal process itself. Pre-trial motions are expected to intensify. Judges will be asked to rule on evidence, scope, and timelines. Each decision could shape how quickly the case moves forward and how much information the public ultimately sees before trial. Looking ahead, the testimony may also influence how future investigations involving senior officials are handled. Former prosecutors say this could set a new informal standard for public justification in extraordinary cases. Others caution that it should remain an exception, not a rule. International observers are also watching closely. They see this case as a test of democratic institutions and the rule of law in the United States. As the investigation continues, authorities say they are watching for attempts to interfere with judicial proceedings. They are monitoring misinformation campaigns. They are tracking public reaction, both domestically and abroad. And they are preparing for a legal battle that could stretch deep into the election season.